What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another exciting episode of That's Random Podcast. I am your host, that guy, the one and only Nerdy G. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is the podcast where we take a little time to explore the extraordinary and ordinary. Today, that's what we're going to do today, okay? But before we get to any of that, let's like, subscribe, share this with somebody. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, hey, I appreciate you coming back and rocking out with your boy, Nerdy. Listen. I'm getting right into it today because ain't no time to waste, okay? I've been seeing some things, okay? And when I say I've been seeing some things, it's been cool. I'm always a fan of doing something, figuring out something, seeing what's new, what's going on. I always like to hear what's the word? I like to hear other people's opinions, okay? I like to hear where other people are coming from. I like to hear where other people, what their ideology is. And I like to talk about it because that's what really, truly makes this world go around. That we're all in different spaces all at the same time. We all have different mindsets. We all have different opinions. That to me is very interesting. So that's something that I want to take a look at. You know what I'm saying? So when I say I want to take a look at it, I want to take a look at it. Let's get to the topic that is at hand today. So this church out in Arizona got a woman preacher. I have nothing against women preachers at all, but I want you guys to hear what she says, and y'all just let me know what y'all think about this. But I have some thoughts too. Let's see. Make sure I get the audio.
Ladies, they just don't.
Okay, let's try this again. Hold on.
They need sex. Something. Ladies, they just don't. They don't want sex. They need sex. Some of the men were like, girl, what you talking about? I want it. No, you don't want it. You need it. It's an absolute necessity for men. The problem is he doesn't want to have to beg for it. He doesn't want to always feel responsible to initiate sex and intimacy. And here's how a man deals with rejection. The first time you reject him, it's like, okay, no problem. The second time you reject him, he stops trying. The third time you reject him, he's no longer interested. And he literally disconnects. He turns distant. He turns cold. He'll climb into bed. He'll watch a little bit of TV at night.
Cheers.
Turn his back to you and go to sleep. And he's angry about it. He's frustrated about it. He's disappointed that he has to fight for something that God told him he was owed and due. Because sex for 1
Corinthians 7:3. You don't know what it is?
It's how he experiences connection. It's how he experiences acceptance. It's how he experiences affirmation and closeness. What you think is merely a biological reaction is actually how your husband connects with you. Men become emotional once they physically connect. Women need to feel emotionally connected first, then they want to be physical. Houston, we have a problem.
Talk about it.
Problematic? We ain't on the same page. Different designs, different makeups, different DNA.
Facts. All right. Y'all get the gist of what she said. Basically, she's saying that sex is a given. 1 Corinthians 7:3. If you haven't, pull out your Bibles, go to it, read it, and then get in the comments and say what you want to say. But it's there, 1 Corinthians 7:3. I'll let you know. She didn't say it, but I know it's there. 1 Corinthians 7:3. Go read it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I want to talk to the people. I want to talk to the ladies. I want to talk to those ladies who go by what's the word I want to use? The religious women. I want to talk to the women who go by the Bible. Because of course, for every scripture, we can find another scripture that, says something or says otherwise to a certain scripture previous, you know what I'm saying? Just depending on which testament it's in. And if we go by the New Testament, does that mean everything from the Old Testament? Does that just, we throw that book out the window? However, but she said, men need sex. That is true. I'm not gonna lie to you. Every man needs sex. That's cool. Got it. I believe it. No problem. No issue there whatsoever. Okay, cool. Sex. It is. She said sex is a way for a man to connect and to be open and vulnerable. I'm paraphrasing. I'm using some words that I feel are better than what she said. But in order for a man to open up and be vulnerable with a woman, he needs to physically connect first, is what I took from that. Women want to start with the emotion and then back their way into physical. Men want to start with the physical and then back their way into emotion. Now, that may be true for some. And when she said, Houston, we have a problem, she damn right, we had a problem. We have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. The problem is, this is not a one shoe fits all. This is not a one size fits all. This is not that. It's funny. It's cool. It's not that. It's not. It's just not that. Let me tell you. Some guys are wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Don't need any emotion. There's no connection. It's just an act that they enjoyed, and now they're on to the next. It's similar to, and I'm gonna use the word corn, but it's similar to when they're watching corn, okay? And when they're watching corn, what ends up happening is they don't. Some guys go back to the same corn star every time. Okay, that's commitment on a different level. That's commitment. Some guys go to a different corn star every single time. That is a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so in this instance, some guys just want to be at a certain point in their life, not their entire life. They just want to be wham bam, thank you, ma'am. They want to be able to enjoy the experience with this body type or this person, and it has nothing to do with their emotions. It does not have anything to say, this is a way I'm going to connect with you. Guys connect with you before then. Because check this out. Women, whether you know it or not, you are the determining factor. You are the deciding factor. You are the ones who say yes. Even if I say no, I can say no all damn day. It doesn't matter. Okay? In order for me to say no, you have to say yes. Because if you say no, there's no reason for me to say no. And let me take it. If a guy says no to a woman, that means that the woman said yes. But if the woman never said yes, there's no reason for the guy to ever say no. Catch my drift? Simple, but it's reality. So, the wham bam, thank you, ma'am, the connection was, I spoke to you enough in order for you to say yes. There go your connection. There's no emotions attached to it. I connected with you on a level that allowed you to say yes to me. And then I was able to say, yes, I want to pursue this. Now, wham, bam, and thank you, ma'am. Those guys, according to her, right, they wanted the physical piece only so that they can connect with the woman and be emotional with them. Not true. Not true. Do men need sex? Yes. Do they need it first to be able to connect with the woman? No. We're going to connect conversely. We're going to connect communicating with each other. Okay. Not unless you just bind them. Now, if you just bind them, then of course, you already know what that is. I'm saying, that's one side of the coin. The other side is the guy who needs the commitment guy. The commitment guy, I'm going to just call him that. The commitment guy. Yeah, he's going to try to connect. He's going to go with the emotional piece first, right? It may be a different route to getting to that. Sex is going to still be needed at some point. But some guys really go, can I talk to her? Does she make me feel comfortable enough to tell her some things? Okay. Is it okay for me to be a little bit vulnerable with this person? You know what I'm saying? If she comes out and she says that she wants to, fornicate before we get to that point of where I'm just so comfortable. Even if she wants to, I now have the option to say no, but it's nice to know that she's ready to take it to that point. Some guys, most guys, 85%, 89% of the guys are going to say, when a girl says yes, I'm going to say 85 to 89% of the guys are going to say yes. So very few out there that will say no. And I'm only talking to the heterosexuals. I'm only talking about the heterosexuals. If you're gay, you already know you're not in this conversation. If you don't like the vagina, you know you're not in this conversation. So that's a given. So all of the guys who are vagina bound and wants it, I'm gonna say it's only about 80 to 85% of them that will say yes, and then the rest, 85 to 89% of them will say yes, and then the rest, the 10 to 11% or whatever that is, 10 to 14% will say no. It's easy. I believe that they will say no. It's because they're trying to connect on a different level. Sometimes after you'd have been Mr. Wham Bam, thank you, ma'am, for so long, it's like, okay, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, for so long. Now I want to try to find a way to connect before I do wham bam, thank you, ma'am. So I think that's on the other end, but I think that comes with experience. I think that comes with the time. I think that comes with, all right, I'm tired of doing this over and over. I think that what Homegirl is saying here, even in the reverse with the women, right? Yeah, women, when a woman says yes, that means in my mind that she feels safe. She feels that she's made some type of connection with you, whether it be the chemistry, whether it be that like something you said, something that she sees in you. Maybe it's a father, maybe it's a father figure or something like that, where she goes, I feel like I can be safe with this guy. Because I feel I can be safe with this guy, I am willing to give myself to this guy. Just because I didn't open up, like there was no conversations where I had to pour my heart out and let her know about my past traumas and all X, Y, and Z, which I know that's what some of you guys do these days. Y'all do a little trauma bonding and whatever, whoop-de-woo. But I don't think that's the necessary to just go ahead and go out there and say, yeah, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I get it. It's a little different. I don't think that when it comes to being physical, right? When it comes to being physical, I feel like all women have to feel comfortable and make a positive connection, not so much as a deep emotional connection, but I think there's have to be a positive connection that ties them to something where they feel safe in order to say yes. So even if we can get that woman to that point just to say yes, or if you can get a woman to a point to feel comfortable enough to say yes and put that on the table for you, the guy it's like, now the ball's in your court, sir. Are you going to say yes or are you going to say no? The first part, which I'm going to jump back to, is I jumped to the end and I'm going to go back to the fourth. I know I'm kind of bouncing, but it's random. That's the way that this show works. If you're first time here, this is how it works. But trust me, Nerdy's going to get there. I promise you that. Back to the beginning where she was breaking down how, first time, no. Okay, okay. No, that was okay. Second time, what is going on here? Okay. I don't think it goes as fast as she says. First time, second time, third time. Doesn't go that fast. In reality, that builds up over time. She wasn't saying nothing wrong about how he feels, how a man feels like, if we're together, we've built this trust. We have this relationship with one another. There should be some give and take. There should be some compromise. Yeah. Not all the time do men want to initiate. I guarantee you, I'm one of those guys. I don't always want to initiate because it makes a guy feel like he always is the one who wants it. And then, of course, most guys, the reason why we don't always like to initiate is because if we get into an argument or whatever pops up, the first thing to derail the argument, the thing that we're actually arguing about, will be somewhere along the line where it comes up, well, you always want sex. And it's like, damn. You use that because if you never initiate it, it's going to always seem like that guy is the one who wants it. When in reality, the guy response is going to be, well, you act like you never want it. So because you act like you never want it, you never push up on me, you never try to give it to me, then that's an argument that shouldn't be truly, in my opinion, it's an argument that shouldn't be had, but it's like, I want to keep this one up on you. I want to, if we're talking about some real life issues and you do the switch swap, you do the flip flop on me and you try to, redirect on some BS, because that's what it is. It's BS. I feel like women always try to protect themselves from certain situations, future endeavors. I feel like that women do it more than men. I feel like men do it as well, but I feel like women do it more. I feel like they're always trying to protect what their future is versus like, hey, future arguments. I don't want to argue. I don't really want to talk about this. Y'all so in tune with your feelings and things that you sometimes can't properly communicate what it is that you're feeling. Sometimes when the hard questions or the thought-provoking questions come to you from a man, you tend to deflect. And I'm not saying this is all women, but I'm saying that there are a good amount of women out there, north of 40%, that will lean in that direction. And I feel like that all can be negated by actually sitting down, truly going therapy, have talks, all of that good old stuff. It's nothing bad, just learning how to communicate effectively with your partner. But in this sex sense, right? In this sex sense, if a man is always the one that's initiating sex, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I don't want the fact that I'm the one that's always initiating sex, that it gets thrown back in my face because you decided that you didn't want to initiate sex. But now anytime we have an argument, it's because it's always about sex, and that's not the case. It can be about, I don't know, bills. It could be about the way you've been talking to Mr. Johnson. It's about, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever. But some way, somehow, it always comes back to that one particular topic. I'm not a fan of that. I see it happen on both sides, men and women, okay? But just for sakes, because this Arizona Community Church, right? Stonewood Community Church in Arizona. This is what they preaching. That's what they preaching out there. There's more things that go into it, okay? There's more things that go into it versus just saying, hey, we disconnect. Do men disconnect after a while? Yeah. See, when a man is with a woman, he'll put up with some stuff. And sometimes they put up with it for longer than what they should. Things will backfire. When I say things will backfire, what I mean is they'll let it build up and then it'll be one big blow up. It'll be one big blow up. And that's ugly. Now, I know that it's easy to cheat when you're at odds with your partner because you have a reason to cheat. She wasn't giving me this. Every time we get into an argument, she tries to bring up things that we're not even talking about, this, that, and the third. She doesn't respect me, blah, blah, blah. All of these negative thoughts that have been building over time. And then on top of the fact that the point is, yeah, you haven't been sexually active as much as you would like to be. But at the same time, this is not the real argument. This is not the real fight right now. This is not the battle. We're talking about, something else, whether it's whether to put the kids in school, where we're going to put the kids at, or whether it's about somebody's spending habit, whether it's about something that person did where they jumped on the defense in order to attack you about something that they've been feeling, and they be like, yeah, it's this, it's that, to try to change it, to say, no, you don't get to come at me with this issue. I want to talk about this other issue, and I'm gonna put you on the defense. No. Over time, this stuff builds up over time, because our elementary schools, our homes don't truly teach us how to properly communicate. I'm not going to say every home is not teaching their children how to properly communicate, but guess what? There are classes that you can go to learn how to communicate. There are books on communication. There's ways in therapy where they show you how to be better and how to communicate effectively with your partner. Free information is being sold. We're having all kinds of issues just because we don't want to take the time to, hey, what's the saying? Learn, I don't know where to go. Reach one, teach one, each one. I don't know, but need to be a better saying. But if I learn something, I'm going to share it. I share it with my children. Once I share that with my children understand, hey, my pops showed me how to do this. My pops told me how to do this. If I've already paid and went to therapy and I paid to learn how to communicate effectively, guess what? I'm going to pass that on to my children for free, so that when they have their relationship bouts where they are having, the issues, because everybody's going to have issues. I'm not saying just because you communicate effectively, you're never going to have an issue. No, communicating effectively allows you to be able to prevent an argument from going to DEFCON 5. Okay. It allows you to de-escalate a situation before it gets there. It allows you to listen, really truly listen, and understand what's really going on, and understand what the issue is, and get to the root of that issue. And then y'all together come up with a solution. Simple. It's the same thing with the sex part, right? You do that. Okay. You just do it. Okay. Just do it. All right, cool. There we go. Not a problem. That's what it is. Once you do that, things aren't going to be better overnight, but you have a more clearer understanding. I like what she's talking in this, because it breaks it down. Men are simple. We are very simple. We are a very simple species. We don't need a lot. We don't need much. Okay. I always like to go back to this Drake lyric: a comfortable bed and some head, or some form of sex, will get it done. Comfortable bed, because a man love to go to sleep. When he go to sleep, it is his break from the world. If he can get some head in that comfortable bed that's going to put him on cloud 9, I mean, that's like cloud 9 times 2. Comfortable bed, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be more receptive to listening. He's gonna be receptive to hear you out. Hey, what do you need? I'm more attentive. I got a good night's rest. I got to release therapy. Now I'm more attentive. What is it that you need? Let me try to anticipate your needs. If you're just meeting him at the door on your own without him having to prompt, I think a lot of things change. A lot of things change in your life. There are some women who know this secret and won't share it, because everybody can't live the life that they don't want everybody living the life that they live. Like, I believe that women dress for each other. I believe that women don't like each other. I feel like women do things to women where it's just like, I don't even try to understand. When they go out, they're not dressing for men. They're dressing for other women. A compliment from a woman, and this is not like on no homosexual, lesbian type stuff. This is just women can go out and say, girl, you look good. That compliment is, in my opinion, valued higher than a man saying, hey, shawty, you look real good. The woman will value the females, girl, you look good, higher than she will the male. Because sometimes girls just want to have fun. They just want to go out and have fun. Cool. If another female recognizes that they look good in what they have on, that's like some type of validation that they got. I don't understand why they need validation from their peers, their counterparts, other females. I don't get it, but it is what it is. But then also on the flip side, women can only be around each other for so long before there are little fights. There are little tiffs, tears, and if that person, if a certain female is not moving, if they're not growing at the same level that the other person is growing, I believe that that's where their issues truly lie. Because if they're moving up the ladder and you're still down here at the first step, it's like, why do I want to be around you? And then it's like, oh, she thinks she bougie because she got this, she got that. It's not because she thinks she's bougie. It's not because she's bougie. It's because women don't know how to verbalize. Girl, we came in this thing together. Me and you had the same opportunities. For whatever reason, you kept fumbling them. But I can't tell you that because I'm your homegirl. I'm your girl. And you come up with all of these excuses. I don't really want to shake the boat because you're going to think I'm a hater. If you think I'm a hater, there's going to be some whatchamacallit. But I'm not trying to let you derail me from where I'm going. I think that's fair. I think that's a conversation that they have in their heads. And it's not their fault. Like, if you going to be focused on your ish, then be focused on your ish. If you like, hey, we in this thing together and you lollygagging, that's on you. That's not on the other friend. But when the friend says, hey, I'm 10 steps up on you on this ladder and I can't do the things that we used to do, then I don't think that you can be mad. But they get mad and then they get catty and then the friend group split and then people on this side and people on that side. It's like, women love to hate women, but they love women. It's crazy. I don't try to understand it, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't. Listen, I'm not going to keep you for a long time. I'm going to keep you for a good time. Shout out to Stonewall Community Church. I understand what you guys are saying. Yeah, do men need sex? Yes. Do men want to always initiate it? No. Are men simple? Yes, they are. It's simple. They are. They're simple. There's nothing else to say about, hey, they simple. So the fact that we know that men are simple, just, my thing to you ladies, do your best. Try. Just try. That's all you gotta do. You gotta do too much. Just try. Try to initiate sex a little time, every now and again. Meet them at the door a couple times a month. Let him know that you still find him attractive. Let him know that, he is desired. If not so, if he decides to go outside, just remember you're the one who helped push him that way, because ain't nothing like watching some Cheers, playing a little PS5 and trying to take our mind off of you not wanting to give us none. And that'll be that. But yep, I'll end it right here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far, I appreciate you 1,010%. Appreciate you. Stay tuned. Check out the Patreon. Check out the Patreon for the other shows. I'm talking about the Red Cup and Brunch Chicks. So with that being said, I am your host, that guy, Nerdy G. You can get these episodes a day early on Patreon. Nerdy's umbrella Patreon. They come out on Thursdays, but if you're watching this on YouTube right now, this is always going to be a Friday release. Until next time, I'm your guy, and I'm out.